Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, are neuroprosthetic devices that collect, analyze, and convert brain signals into actionable responses, allowing a person to control the computer or device with their thoughts. Last week, Elon Musk announced the first human patient has received a Neuralink brain implant, and the procedure was apparently successful. Musk said the individual was recovering well, and initial results show promising neuron spike detection. The term brain-computer interface was first introduced by the pioneering neurologist Dr. Jacques J. Vidal in 1973 when they began research at the Brain Research Institute of UCLA. 20 years in, the fundamental groundwork was laid out to move from animal models to the very first BCI prototypes being attached to human brains. Bridging the mind and the machine, BCIs can be broken down into roughly 3 types of devices that collect the brain's electrical signals: non-invasive, semi-invasive, and invasive. Non-invasive models rely on electroencephalography, or EEG, by placing electrodes on the scalp of the user, usually in the form of a skull cap. In 2016, neurologists at UC Irvine were able to help partially restore a paraplegic man's ability to walk with a non-invasive BCI device. An EEG cap monitored his training and translated his mental output into electrical impulses firing into his legs, allowing him to walk a 12-foot course. In semi-invasive BCIs, the electrodes are placed either subdurally or epidurally, either beneath or above one of the protective membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord respectively. In 2012, a semi-invasive BCI known as BrainGate 2 was able to allow a patient to serve herself a cup of coffee with the help of researchers from Brown University. And then there are invasive BCIs, where microelectrodes, thinner than a strand of human hair and possibly smaller than the length of an insect's antenna, are inserted directly into the brain tissue. With the size of materials in use, human hands are unable to perform this delicate surgery. In the case of Neuralink, their surgical robot, R1, implanted the N1 Neuralink's BCI in a human being. So aside from being a company run by the world's most prolific hype architect, why is Neuralink's achievement so special? It comes down to spatial resolution and bandwidth. An invasive system increases the fidelity of the signal, and implanted BCIs are capable of recording the action potential of individual neurons, also known as spikes. This means more generalized sets of actions are possible, such as controlling a computer cursor on screen or decoding intended handwriting, allowing an increase in the speed of communication compared to point-and-click typing. But does this mean that soon we too can download Kung Fu? Or, as Musk puts it in 2020,
you could upload, you could basically store your memories as a backup and restore the memories. And ultimately, you could potentially download them into a new body or into a robot body.
But many in the neurological research community are skeptical of Musk's promises. Dr. Miguel Nicolas, pioneering neurologist and principal investigator of the Nicolas Lab at Duke University, says,
for instance, I can assure you, you are not going to download your brain to a CD-ROM and give it to your mom or to your kids. You are not going to learn French by uploading French grammar directly to your brain. That's what he promised would happen. No, it's not going to happen at all. Information in the brain is embedded in the organic tissue that constitutes the brain. So you cannot extract it. You cannot make juice, memory juice, like he wants to.
Despite the initial rejection, Neuralink was granted FDA approval in May of 2023 to run the human trials that led to last week's news. The original application, though, was rejected by the FDA due to more than 1,500 monkeys, pigs, and sheep that were killed in the development of the N1 BCI. The company was reportedly under investigation for potential animal welfare violations by the US Department of Agriculture. Musk's demands to speed research allegedly resulted in underprepared and overstressed employees, surgeries riddled with human errors, all leading to death rates higher than necessary. Also, the FDA's own phases of human trials require several years of testing before a product with such high risk can make it to market. But Neuralink is barreling ahead with the next phase of its tests. Musk says the company's first product will be called telepathy, and that the goal is to speed up communication for people who have lost the use of their limbs. For more coverage on BCIs and future tech, tap the subscribe button check us out on Engadget.com, and then come back to us here for more news, reviews, and explainers.